Aha! The sign for Batrista. And the Pools of Batrista right behind it. Now that's a famous site in Jerusalem. Although the doors are closed now, behind them is the very place where archaeology proved were a set of two big pools, just as mentioned in the Gospel of John, the location where Jesus healed a sick person. Huh. But wait, Danny, haven't you reviewed this already? What's going on here? Are you forgetting the contents that you have already presented to your viewers? So no, I'm not there yet, and shalom everyone. Welcome to another vlog by Danny the Digger. And this time I am completing the series of following Jesus in Jerusalem. And after covering all of the sites from his entry to his return to the heavens from Mount of Olives, I went over all the small details and turned out that there are a few more smaller sites, not the main ones, that have not been covered properly. So I'm here to repair that today. And actually for this very one, there's an exciting new archaeological discovery that I can't show you in full details, but let me show you what it's about. Okay, so trying to cope with this traffic, we are heading towards Lionsgate, or maybe we should call it the SUV gate. What's going on here? Just when you want to record, either the muezzin or a row of cars are blocking the lane. But the Lionsgate is named so because of a specific decoration of two pairs of lions decorating its entrance. This is the inner side of it, so you cannot see it, but you can sure see the traffic, because this is the only lane into the Muslim quarter for cars. And it seems that there's also a little maintenance problem here. Fortunately, the camera does not deliver the smell or the stench in this case, but it looks like they know what they're doing. And backing out, you can see that this gate still holds these metal doors, and it is actually one of the nicer gates of the old city. It's the main gate from the east, and its name is derived from the two pairs of lions. Here's the one on the left, here is the one on the right, and the inscription inside all indicates this was another part of Suleiman the Magnificent big project to fortify the city one more time shortly after they took Jerusalem from the Mamluks. Now, who are you afraid of, Mr. Suleiman? The Mamluks are really dwindled in power. Well, historians suggest that there was a rumor that the Crusaders might return. And indeed, especially in the court of the King and Queen of Spain, there was such a discussion of resuming the Crusades, and apparently Suleiman's spies told him of this, and he decided not to take any chances and fortify the city one more time. So there you have it. City walls now standing from that time for nearly 500 years, giving the city its limit and its character. But why am I telling you all of this in a series that is all about following Jesus in Jerusalem? Well, okay, first of all, in the Gospel of John, chapter 5, we are told about the Pools of Batrista, and it is said that they are near the gate of the sheep. The gate of the sheep. Now, I have actually reviewed that when I reviewed the Pools of Batrista. I believe that was chapter number 12 in my series. And the Pool of the Sheep to be next to the gate of the sheep to be next to the Pools of Batrista makes perfect sense, because this was probably also the place where sheep were brought into the city, and specifically towards the temple, where there was a big demand for sheep in the animal sacrifice. What amazed me is when I was teaching in one of my summer classes at the Hebrew University, I had a student who lived in Jerusalem in the 1960s under Jordanian control, and he told me, Danny, in front of the Lion's Gate, in my time as a teenager here, the Bedouins would bring their sheep for trade. So the use of sheep in this area, the trade with sheep, was known till the 20th century. And then I found photos of Bedouins still bringing sheep for trade at the northern eastern edge of the old city of today. Until the 1990s, there was sheep trade going on here. Isn't that amazing? So the title from the first century source, the Gospel of John, telling us of a gate of a sheep here, seemed to have documented the reality that kept going here until about 30 years ago. That's quite remarkable. But it's more than this. It's more than this. In the Gospel of John chapter 10, Jesus provides a parable about sheep, about a shepherd, and about a gate. And at some point he says, I am the sheep of the gate. Meaning the sheep of the gate known in Jerusalem is turned into a metaphor representing him. Wow, that's pretty neat. I have to admit, I have not heard of that before this specific inquiry, and I bet a lot of Christians who are not familiar with the metaphor of Jesus as a sheep of gate. As a shepherd, yes, but as a sheep of gate, well, the Gospel of John says so clearly. Now this is where it gets really, really interesting. A few years ago, and it's really, really recent information, not yet properly published, excavations were carried out into the foundations of the northern wall, the eastern wall of the old city of Jerusalem. This layer is from the time of the Ottomans, I said. But as it turns out, and here's just one of a few places where they found destruction level and older walls that go back to the Middle Ages, and the lowest levels go back to the 1st century. Yes, the wall over here specifically, not in other parts of the old city, but here, the old city wall of today is built on top of the old city walls from the time of Jesus, from the time of the Second Temple. And what does it mean? It means that the sheep gate has to be somewhere around here. And people, we found it. Not yet officially published, going around more like a rumor. And I verified it, but the person who gave me the information said you cannot show it. It's not published yet, so I'm not showing you the actual discovery, but it's right there. It's really, really close by. And I hope that after it's officially published that I will be able to show it to you as well. The gate of the city from ancient times. He admitted they're still not certain if it's 1st century. They need to do a bit more work, but it's really close. It's not this, of course. I cannot show you what has been discovered, but I do promise you, when it will be published, when it will be public, I will present that as well. Isn't that exciting? Thinking about it, it's really the only item, the only find ever made that can be presented as a metaphor of Jesus. Jesus himself said, I am this. This is me. Okay? It's the only time ever, as far as I can remember, where he compared himself to an actual tangible item. I mean, he says, I'm the light of the world, but he's not referring to a specific architectural element. It's only when he compares himself to the gate of the sheep that archaeology can suggest, hey, we know where it is, we know what it looks like. Isn't that amazing? So it's really close by here, and I hope to be able to show it to you when this will be properly published. Hope you've enjoyed this small presentation, and of course, if you're joining the crowds, make sure to hit subscribe so you keep getting more of this type of presentations. Yes, archaeological insights to the scriptures, to the New Testament. The series of following Jesus in Jerusalem is about to be completed, but there will be others. I'll have to decide if the next one will be following Jesus in the Galilee, following David perhaps. Actually, feel free to express yourself in the comments. What would you like to be the next series? And speaking of which, I am plotting, because I was approached actually by church leaders already, I am plotting not only to offer a tour group, I usually do only private tours, not only to offer a tour group to a specific congregation, but also to offer one to the general public. Yes, we are still thinking of how to do this exactly, how many days, but let's say my wish is to make it happen next February. The tour length will be about 8 to 9 days. And the cost, well, I want it to be premium. I want it to be a good premium level bus, good hotels, good food, and extra special activities. Maybe the cost will be in the range of $3,000 to $4,000 US. We're still trying to, run out the numbers. But if you could give us an indication, if you're interested, that will be a great indicator for us. So yes, feel free to express yourselves. I love reading your comments, your feedback, and of course, all of those who are also supporting me. I'm so grateful for this. This is really helpful as the tourists are starting to come back. But this is a big help because for 2 years I did not have any of this typical livelihood. So thank you all. Toda rabah and shalom from Jerusalem.